Underneath, now this is 8 years old, so you see this looks like we've been standing in this thing for 8 years and it's still holding up, and this would still hold water. But basically, below this thing here, we actually use what's called mud, which is cement. We basically put cement down and we slope it to the drain so you don't have any pooling water. This would later get tiled on top of it. Well, what normally happens is they put a liner, like a gray plastic vinyl, and they put that behind the wall and they put it under the concrete. And so there will be dips in that, okay? Because the houses are not typically level and plumb. So there'll be a low spot. One of these corners will be low. The key thing is it fills with water because the water goes through grout joints, and the pan fills with water and mold over years. Because plumbers, my dad was a plumbing inspector. He said the number one problem that he saw and flunked on plumbers, and a lot of plumbers are doing this, they're not even plumbers, they're not pulling permits, so it's never getting inspected. But the drain on a typical one, there's actually below this, all the way at the floor, which would be about 2 inches below this. Now this is not a typical drain because we don't use the system, but they have this thing called weep holes. There's like 4 or 6 holes. So when the water goes through the tile, through the 2 or 3 inches of concrete, it then hits that PVC liner, that gray liner. The water, as it fills up, should drain to those weep holes and then go down the drain. Well, plumbers don't want leaks, and honestly, they don't understand. So here's the number one problem. This is from my dad, who passed away at this point, but he was a plumber until he retired, plumbing inspector. They caulk it. So they literally caulk these holes because they don't want any leaks. And they don't know what they're for, and that's a shame. I'm not saying that all plumbers don't know what they're for, but this is a very common number one thing that he would flunk people on. They caulk the holes, so that means you basically just created a pool. This whole thing fills with water, and then they only waterproofed up 8 inches, because that's all they have to do on the thing, and then they put this wallboard, which is water resistant, right down to that concrete. And sometimes they actually put it down first, and then they put the concrete up against it, so it wicks up, just like it would, you see moisture wick up the thing. It'll wick up your wall. We live and breathe bathrooms all the time, and so we use this and we include it because honestly, I would feel guilty. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I was doing, what I consider an unethical shower because of lack of evolving codes.